That's fine. We'll record now. And you see, I used to think that we need to have recordings of these lessons. I still don't see the value in recording, but I'm going to record it anyways, because the true value is when you attend live. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Because you can ask me questions. I ask you questions because you respond. Because you can't, when I ask you a question in a recorded, when you watch this recorded and I ask you a question, who are you going to share it? There's no type box. There's no Chinmai. There is, but there is no live engagement, right? So
Yeah.
it's a dead conversation. It's not a living, breathing conversation. So yes, it's good. Recording is good. So it's the learning happens when there is a live conversation, when it's alive. Inhale and exhale. So you are doing amazing. Well done. So Dr. Louis says, the more you give, the more you receive. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
And
indeed.
that's powerful, Louis. Why does that happen? Why is it? Why does that happen? Is the reason is because the more you give, the more you share, the more certain you become. The more certain you become, the more courage you have to accept more. And the universe knows that you're certain and it comes to you. If you're uncertain, nothing comes to you. Okay? Law of abundance. Yes, all these are nice words. You need to understand the science behind it. You need so that you can replicate it. See, all these I've learned. I think what I challenged for me was I used to read all this book on secret, the secret, and like all these spiritual books, and they all add very nice, beautiful words and phrases. And I was like, how does it mean? Like, I wanted to know the science behind it. Being an engineer, I wanted to know how it works. I wanted to know the mechanics of the spiritual universe so that I can repeat it. Like, I know engineering. If I put a battery in a bulb, light comes. I can unscrew and I can screw it back. The phone devices I can fix. So I can understand how engineers are used to design closed loop systems where what goes in comes out. Like, it kind of, you understand the engineering behind it. So that's my mindset. Being a rocket engineer, I learned the physical universe, the gravity, the energy, the force. So I wanted to know, if I'm learning spiritual universe, it has to be repeatable. It has to be easy to teach. I can, anytime I have a problem, I should be able to fix it like this. Not sit and hope it'll happen, not sit and dream or visualize it'll happen. None of that nonsense. I want to do practical things. I should have a checklist. I do 5 steps, 10 steps, it should go. I needed that kind of power on the spiritual universe. And I've got it. And I'm sharing that with you. You already have experienced it, haven't you? Oh,
Yes.
suddenly you're all very silent. It's like I'm on Netflix.
I'll put a comment in, Chinmay, if you want
Sorry.
to.
Wait. Thank you to everyone sharing our journey of a progress and our mentors sharing valuable lessons. Thank you, Saroj. Sorry. Yes. This chat got lost here. Okay. Law of abundance. Yes. Thank you, Saroj. Yes. Now, that's why this is great. So it's powerful. Yes. Thanks for saying. What else have I missed out? Have I missed out anyone else? No. Okay. Cover it. So you know how powerful it is to learn this way. Yes. And I hope you're able to replicate the same results I'm hoping you get. Are you getting the same results I'm expecting you to get in terms of thing?
Yeah.
Is it easy to replicate for you?
Yeah.
Don't say yes, just I'm asking, but only if it's true for you. Is it true for you?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It is true. Good. Okay. Fantastic. I'm very happy for that. Okay, good. So now let's go and see if I have my presentation ready.
Are you on low volume?
Yeah, my daughter's sleeping, so I'm speaking lowly.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if I can increase. Oh, one second. Let me put my mic closer to me. This should be good. Is this better? Are you able to hear me clearly now, Manjit?
About the same.
About the same? Okay. I'll see if I can increase it a little bit more and then see how, if I don't hear any cries, then I'll keep it there. Okay, so Tende, your agreements. So let's go over the agreements. These are the spiritual agreements because this will allow you to make progress. This is allow you to keep real, keep ethical to yourself. You will not record this presentation. You're ready. You already know what I'm teaching. There's nothing new what I'm teaching. You already know it. You will accept only if it's true for you. That means only if, oops, what is it? Something else came up. Okay. What the hell? Why is this happening? Is this gone? Gone. Okay, gone. So are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me see if I can't see the chat box. Let
Yes,
me
we're
open
here.
the chat box. I can see the chat. I can see the participants. Okay, good. I have all of it, so I can easily read. Before I couldn't. Okay, sorry, I meant I'm making progress. The Louis. Wow, that is rocket science lessons from amazing rocket engineer coach Chinmai. Thank you, Louis. We are making progress. Thank you, Saroj. I'm so glad that you're able to make progress. That is really, really, that's my win. Thank you. So you will engage and ask questions, and you are already doing that. So that's fantastic. You'll only proceed when you're 100% clear. If you have any doubt, you're going to ask me. If you're not going to just accept it because of peer pressure or I am putting pressure saying that we are in a rush. No, you have 100% control by saying, Chinmai, I didn't get it. Not making sense to me. Can you repeat it again? So I will give you undivided attention. Is that clear?
Mm.
So you will participate in the drills and exercises. Anything I ask you to do, you're going to do it. And you will commit and attend all live sessions, which you're already doing. That is fantastic. And you need to share your wins. And you know how powerful it is. I have, and you're learning it. And more than learning, you're living it. So you know how powerful these wins are. And you'll have fun. So hopefully we're having fun. And it's good fun. Okay, so day one, we covered the 3 secrets. Today, we are discovering your hidden gems. And if you've been in the past 10-day Launchpad, you have covered a part of it. You might remember what this is, but I'll take you to one level deeper in this. I've created new slides for this.
Okay.
So revision. The 3 secrets which you are missing for success is number 1, the right gradient. Number 2, the correct strategies and tactics. 3, live mentoring, the right way to create how you can engage this way. Now, what happens when you do not have the above 3 or any of the 3? What happens? Let me take the chat here. You can
won't be
speak or type.
successful and feel disencouraged and drop out of your project.
Okay, good. That's very true. Yes. Okay.
May not hit. Sorry.
You give up easily.
You give up easily. Yes. You are at lost. You're so true. Yes.
You may not hit your target because you might have, gone too high with your gradient or too low.
Very powerful. That's true, Saraj. That's very nice. Yes. And I'm glad that you're using these words like it's everyday English. And I'm so glad you're doing that. You fail to take action, complete cycles of actions. You get the wrong results or no sales at all. And you will come back to the same place after a very long, painful, and expensive journey. And you've been there. You can connect with that. You've started a new project. You've gone back and round and round and round, invested in products and product, and come back to the same place because you've got very, very little or marginal improvements. And or you're getting the same, or you're experiencing the same type of problems. Like, have you played games? Like, let me share the stop. Have you played computer games? Anyone played computer games?
Kind of.
Kind of. Have you played any like computer games, like or any game, or even a physical or a live or a physical game? You've all played, right? Now, there are leagues.
Chinmai, could you go back to that screen and put that screen on?
I'll come back to. I'll share that 1 second. Now, I want to start focus here. Have you come back? Can you recollect a point where you played a live game or a virtual game? Any game. In virtual games, there are levels. You finish a level, you go to the next level.
Yeah.
Are you with me in that?
Yeah.
Then in live game, there are leagues. Like you play with one club, then you go to the next club. You go Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Do you recollect that
Mm.
experience?
Yeah.
Now, when you're playing in one level, the challenges you have are the same. You might be having the same problems might be recurring in different angles, in different ways. Same problem. Like in a game, you might have to destroy a monster, and the same type of monsters will be there in that level. Yes? And the same way, when you're having or playing a physical game, you're having one challenge where you're not able to counteract a attack from your opponent. You're not able to block. You're not able to attack. Like that's you're stuck at a ceiling. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Repeating master. Okay. Then once you kill that monster, or you break that, once you know how to overcome that challenge, you go to the next level. And suddenly what you found challenging to overcome in the previous level becomes the normal in the next level. And what monster you were hoping you were fighting so challenging to defeat in the level 1 becomes the normal monster in level 2. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're going up. That's how life is. Now, if you're having the same type of challenges in your business, let's go back to the slide. If you're having the same type of challenges in the business, that means you start your journey and then you come back to the same point, which means is the challenges of getting clients, the challenges of selling, challenges of getting leads, or challenges of not able to teach properly. Whatever your challenges in your business is because you haven't actually gone to the next level yet. You're still in the same level. Okay, if you're having the same problems, that means you're in the same level. You need to have problems in life. Problems are very important for progress. If you're having the same type of problems, that means you're in the same level. You're very silent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I told you, let me remind you, you don't have to respond only when I ask you a question. If you find something I teach is good, you can send me happy chats as well, telling me, Chinmai, that's amazing. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Anything you can teach, you can tell anything. Or yeah, like I said, I take all denominations of validation. And you also, I want you to express. If you're silent, I don't know what's happened, whether it was too deep what I shared, or was it too painful, or was it like, this guy is talking nonsense, or like it's too boring. Whatever, I don't know. You have to express it to me, because I can understand where you are on the gradient, and I can change my gradient based on your reaction. So
Sometimes, Chinmay, I'm reflecting, so I just.
okay, that's good. See, thank you. Okay, good. So when you're reflecting, that's good. Ask me questions, share on what you're reflecting, or anything when you're ready, so that's how you grow, Saroj. And the fact that you express, it's so powerful, because the more you express, you're confronting inside, you're taking away false data, and you're becoming free. Okay, so now you know, if you're having the same problems in life, but different, even if same problem is, let's say, if the problem is with money, not able to save money, like something like somewhere the money is always going. You, no matter how much you save money, suddenly new expenses, or unplanned expenses, or tempted expenses, something is coming, and money is always an issue. Then you've not gone to the next level of money, because you have a spiritual concept, a spiritual block of money. Like you have to clear that. So that's when you go to the next level, and you'll have a different sets of problem. So problem is a must. Without problems, life is boring, and you will just, like evolution, you need problems to grow. Okay, so does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, only 2 people make sense. So let me introduce you to chat, type box, or voice, or unmute button.
What if you get disencouraged by the problem that's there? How do you build your self back up with?
See, the 2 things. That's a very good question, Manjit. When you're discouraged by the problems, is you're not willing to accept them as problems. You're denying them.
Mm-hmm.
See, when there's a problem, when you see, let me think. When you, let me see if I can teach this in a proper whiteboard. See, the problem, what is a problem? Problem is two opposing certainties. Sorry, problem is force counter force. Okay, that's a problem. That's the definition of a problem in the purest form. You have a thought, and there is a counter thought. That's all a problem is. An argument, a problem, a situation, everything is just a force counter force. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's in the purest form, simplest form. This is what a problem is. Nothing else. You can't break it down simpler than this. Force counter force. Now, the only way
Force
this
is
is
when you are pushing through it, and the counter force is the more problems you incur. Yeah.
exactly very smart. So you will always others, everyone,
Okay.
the world, the government, family, then etc. Everyone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens is, for you to be in control, first, what is the best solution? When you're, if I am like this, are you able to see my screen? Hey, Raghu's here. Are you able to see my screen?
No. Seeing you.
Sorry. Okay, are you able to see my thing? Let me put myself here. Are you able to see me here?
Yeah.
So this is force counter force. You see, this is my force counter force. Are you able to see my hand going? It's no matter how much I put, it's force counter force. Okay, clear?
Yep.
Now, if this is me, and this is everyone else and all my problems, all I have to do is just drop, and this force, there's nothing else to counter it. I just have to just stop
Pushing that
going
challenge.
against it. Stop
Yeah.
forcing, stop going against it.
Mm.
Stop it, and this force goes, and there's no problem anymore. Do you get it?
But sometimes you have to confront it, isn't it?
Yes, but
Then
you don't have to confront it. It's not see, confrontation, when you're going head on head, you're not confronting, you're opposing it.
Uh-huh.
When you're going head on head, you're not confronting it, you're opposing it. What happens when you oppose? When you're confronting it, confronting means you are willing to communicate with it. Okay, confront means you are willing to communicate with it. Okay, anything you communicate, you can control. Okay, but when you oppose, you are not accepting it, you are denying its existence, and you are yeah, that's the thing, that's it, denying your existence. So what happens when you deny someone's existence? What happens, let's say there's a child or yourself, if somebody doesn't listen to you, what do?
You challenge them even more, no?
Yes, very good. When your words are not heard, what do?
Shouts, tell them
Make
off.
it more stronger. Very smart. So let's go back to the screen. So when you not accepting it or denying its existence is the same as you not being heard, you not being acknowledged. So when you not being heard, you will shout more. So when you don't accept and acknowledge your problem, you oppose it, the force becomes, what happens to the counter force?
They challenge you as well.
Yes, so the counter force becomes stronger, louder, and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So when you oppose, this is oppose. When you confront, you communicate with it. You're like, okay, what's happened? Okay, you're communicating with it. You're accepting it. You're accepting it unconditionally. Unconditionally. That means you become the creator of your problem. Here, you are at cause. You are responsible for it. Over here, you have put a condition. Then you are the you're not the creator of the problem. You're the destroyer of the solution. And here you are at effect, and you're irresponsible. Are you clear?
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you have a problem. So now force counter force. So when you have the same problems again and again, if you're going back and back to the same thing, this is why you're going back and coming back to the same place. You're not going up to the next level because you're having the same set of problems. It's because you're not willing to accept the problem. You're putting conditions. See, I accept you when something is like this, when you're putting specific conditions to the other person, to the problem. When it's rainy, I don't want when it's rainy. Everything. So you're putting conditions. The more conditions you put, the more counter force becomes stronger. This is how the spiritual universe works. You're at cause. Here you're at cause. Like the beautiful example is, what do you say? Can be, let's say a person is driving from. Let's take me. I have so many. I always take a be at cause. So which one can I take at example recently? Which one will make more sense? Oh yeah, this one. So let's make this. That I had a couple of. Oh yeah, this one. Right. I wrote. So in my goals, I wrote to eat. To ready my part of my vitality goals is to eat less junk food this time. So I was always like complaining, like, oh, I don't want to, saying I know what it is. I keep complaining that, no, why can't I do this? Why can't I do it? So I was complaining, oh, I have the habit developed by when I was growing up. So like pointing fingers at others. So telling my parents should have taught me better to eat, or I couldn't have learned something. But now when I took control of it, I'm able to take charge. I'm confronting it rather than opposing it. I yesterday for the first time took a photo of me, before and after, where you have, and people before and after workout programs with a belly and without a belly. The first time I took a photo of myself, so I was willing to communicate with my physical body, and I was like, now, and I looked for something good in it. I'm like, wow, okay, that's good. So now I'm going to confront, not oppose. So that's one way of looking at it. That's the only way. When you have a problem and you're not able to solve it, and you're going back to the same problem and you're coming back to the same place again and again after a long, painful, expensive journey, is because you're not confronting, you're opposing the problems. So if you're not having the right strategies in building the online products, if you're not having the live mentoring, if you're not having the right teacher to teach you, you're just opposing it. You're not confronting it. So now you're confronting because you have found me, but before then you were not. Do you understand the difference between how you go to one level of problems to another level of problems?
Yes.
And you know that it's the right gradient. Before, everyone has taught you overnight success, and it's a lie. It's the biggest lie on the universe.
Mm.
Every speaker on stage tells you overnight success, sells you overnight success. And that's why this industry is rotting with with more people. Just they are more because the people are good, the speakers are good, they are good leaders, their strategy works. Thing is, they teach at the wrong gradient, and majority of the people lose faith in the industry. They think speakers are all unethical and no integrity. It's not about any of that. They are very ethical. They run a business. All the speakers run a business. It's just that you approach it with the wrong gradient. Okay, so this, and you have the same problems because you know if you have the same problems, you're in the same level. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Chinmay, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, obviously, I've been to these seminars and listened to the speakers, and yes, I agree, a lot of them are good. However, I think from going to quite a few of these seminars, they always have a hidden agenda. And you talk about the gradient. I get that. I understand that. However, I think there's a lot of subliminal messaging going on to try and convince them to go higher than to sell something to them that they don't quite need.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
so bad. That's so right. I don't like that at all. I know.
And I think that is unethical.
You're right. Absolutely right. Yeah, you're right. There are unethical. I'm not saying they're not, but there are few which are really good.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
saying there isn't good people. There are, but I mean the majority. And if you're talking about them rotting, I think that's the reason probably.
You're right.
They're
Yeah.
pushing. They're pushing. And
You're
I
right.
don't want to be that way. Just as I did the same thing when I was doing treatments in my salon, I'd
Good.
never give a treatment that wouldn't be suitable for a client.
Well done. Very good. So keep that again. Keep that. Use the same thing, and you will learn. That's very good. Well done.
It's the way they exaggerate the price on the stage, on the screen, and how they drop it. And then they say, break a bank, beg and borrow from your parents, do anything, but sign on today. And this is only available today for the first 30 people.
Manjit, you have to appreciate that is needed because majority of the people are lazy bums. That is not unethical. That is just creating scarcity.
Yeah, it is creating scarcity.
That's a must.
Is it?
If anybody, everyone, because you see, look around us. Even when in the front of, they use fear. Like scarcity is what? Lack of, like, what is scarcity? It's just like you're missing out on something, right?
Yeah.
You're missing out on something. Like you're missing out. Like you're either missing out on good, or you want to avoid bad. Like fear of pain or fear like pleasure. Yes. Even in the face of death, like corona, like not death, corona is not death, but coronavirus is a serious issue. Even on fear of that, people had two options to respond to coronavirus. Being responsible, they could have been at home themselves, they could have washed their hands responsibly, and they could have avoided contact responsibly. They could have achieved the same thing, or they could have done it but they did it by fear. Government had to show stats of death, stats of emergency, stats of that, to create fear, because that is what was needed for the country, for majority of the people. Because very few people are very rightly aware and spiritually aware, so they behave responsibly, Manjit. Majority of them, 99% of the population, are not responsible. They only behave to fear and pain. Sadly, I'm not saying, but sad. That's why when you talk all these leaders like the Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, and the Four Agreements, they all say the earth, there's a new awakening. So the earth is awakening. There's a new era of people becoming more spiritually aware. So it's happening slowly. So spirituality is what? It's blind simply. It's just you being aware of your own intentions and you're willing to take complete responsibility of all actions and outcomes. That is nothing but spirituality. But do you think majority of the population are spiritual? They're not even aware that they need to wash their hands. A thing like coronavirus had to come and tell them they had to wash their hands. So you know their level of awareness. It's shocking. So when it comes to sales, they're all sleeping. They're all sleeping. So it's a closing technique. You have to bring them up. That is a closing technique. That is like how Louis said. That's a creating scarcity. I don't. It's just different people have different styles, but that's technique is needed. It's the unethicalness. Like, I will teach you how to become a millionaire in the next 30 days. You will have the money, blah, 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 all that nonsense promises. That is wrong. That's why. And if so, you have to sell them a little bit over the gradient, but not too much. Because if I tell you, you know what, join the 10-day Launchpad, your life will be the same as how it was yesterday, but it'll increase by 1%. Come and join the thing. You'll be like, what? You're not going to join, are you? No, right? But I gave you, my promise was, you're going to improve. There is a gradient and you're going to learn. And you understood. You are intelligent enough to understand the concept of gradient. So you're taking it. But majority of people are not. So I chose to work with you because you're smart and intelligent to understand the power of gradient.
I think once you know what you want or what you need, you'll be able to.
Annette, you're breaking. Can you repeat it again, please?
Even if they I've lost a lot of money on these seminars, so much so that they won't tell me to buy something if I don't need it. Now I know what I need. I can choose.
Yes, you can choose. Absolutely. Yes. There are a lot of, I had my, we'll just cover this once more and then we'll go back to the main topic. I had actually it's not needed. We'll discuss that later. So in terms of unethicalness, the only thing I would know is that if I make a promise, if some speaker makes a promise, money is what? Promise backed by confidence. If I make a promise and I don't fulfill the promise, if I don't give you an exchange of fair exchange at the minimum, or I want to always give an exchange of abundance. If I don't do any of those two and you don't get it, and if you ask for your refund within the cooling off period and I don't give you, that's criminal. Do you understand? Most speakers do unfair exchange. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even after putting that and getting the money out, a lot of people have rebelled and gone
Yes,
to the extreme.
I know people have gone bankrupt because
then,
I know
they only get 50%,
Correct. That's the reason why you now you are more aware now. So how do you avoid the thing? You need to be in control. What happens? So being in control is, let's go back to this whiteboard. So being in control means you are at effect. So you're at cause. That means you are responsible for your actions. You're at cause. You're the creator of your problem. Okay. No speaker is the creator of your problem. You are the creator of your problem. So when you reach this mindset, nothing can be a problem to you. No force is big enough for you because you will just communicate with the force and the force will just go past. There is no problem. Do you understand? That's how you handle and avoid being in the same situation. You need to go past. So all of you are silent. Raghu, you're silent. I want you to engage. Manjit, your thing. Raghu, yes. Annette, you engaged. Fantastic. Good. All of you are engaging. If you want to engage, wait, hang on. Diwali Ben said, cannot achieve your goals. Yes, thank you. You're at last. You keep on repeating and mastering it per level. Yes, I think that's a game level. Okay, great. Yes, okay. You've covered all. Let's go back to that concept. Okay, so now let's change that. Today we'll cover why you stop yourself from selling advice online. It's very simple. I'll teach you this, and this will change everything in everything. Your whole mindset is changed. After this one topic you learn today, its whole mindset is changed. This is the one reason why you self-sabotage yourself in every occasion. In every occasion. When it comes to selling advice, this is the reason why you self-sabotage. It's your mind. What's in your mind? It's the curse of knowledge. What is the curse of knowledge? Once you know something, it is difficult to remember what it was like before you learned the new information. That's the power of the mind. Once
So
you
what was
learn,
the last one was the reason why you fail is you sabotage your own.
is your curse of knowledge.
Okay.
It's continuation to this slide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a curse of, once you learn something, it's so difficult for you to remember how it was before you learned it.
Yeah.
Yes, can you connect? Can you show me some responses? Where are you? Oh yes, Raghu. Yes, you can have it. You can have the recording. But I'm glad you're here. Stay as long as you can. So, and when you're staying, communicate, like chat if you can. So you feel it is normal to know what you know. Now forgetting you didn't know it before you do it, so you do not value it as much as you should. Does it make sense? Once you learn how to do something, you forget that you didn't know how to do it. I want all of you to chat. Like suddenly it's silent. It's like I'm doing a video recording in my studio.
No.
We're here.
Okay, good. So communicate. So respond. Anything like saying yes, does it make sense? Does it not? Okay.
Yeah.
So what will help you overcome this curse? What will help you overcome this curse of knowledge? It's a question to you. What will help you overcome the curse of knowledge?
Is it changing the pattern, habit?
Correct. Yes, it is changing something. It is changing the habit. Yes. Then
It's learning the subject you have and having passion to deliver it.
correct. Yes. So how will that change the curse of knowledge? The curse of knowledge is once you learn it, you forgot you learned it.
Confident. It's
Improve your memory. Wow. I like that. Okay.
Change your mindset and
Mindset. Okay.
determination.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yep.
Those are all right answers. Now let's take a look at this. Self-validation. Self-validation is the key to overcoming the curse of knowledge. What you said is true. It is self-validation. What is the definition of self-validation?
is agreeing with what you say is right, and
Correct.
getting the people listening to you that it's being delivered with confidence because you have overcome the problem.
Correct. That is perfect. I like how you said self-validation. Okay. Who else wants to go?
Are you confirming with yourself that what you're doing is valuable and encourages your process?
Wow, I like that definition. Very good, Saroj. Yes. Okay. Let's take a look. The process of observing the smallest improvement in yourself and acknowledging it. That is what you said. This is my definition. The process of observing the smallest improvement in yourself and acknowledging it. Every self-validation you do leads up to your success. What is the definition of success?
Progress, achieving your goal.
Correct.
Feeling victorious.
Yes. Fundamentally, it is sum of all validated improvements. If you don't know you have crossed the finish line, you don't know you've won. And you're winning every day. And there are times when you have won, you just celebrate. When you started the journey, you must have thought, oh, when I finish this, it'll be so good. You'll be thinking of so many things. But when you cross the finish line, when you finish the project, you'll be like, okay, it was good. How was it? Yeah, it was okay. I finished it. How was the test? It was okay. Oh, was it difficult? No, it was okay. You see, have you heard people say this before?
Yeah.
But when they were going through the problem, when you ask them about the problem, they'll be like, "Oh my God!" They will have, they'll write a book on complaints about the problem. But once the problem is passed, if you ask them how was it, now the problem is gone, they'll be like, "Ah, it's okay, it's good."
Or you end up saying, I didn't realize that it was going to be so easy, because you make a mountain out of the molehill. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. You might. I didn't know it was so easy. You'll just undermine yourself. You just put yourself down. But in reality, you actually improved tremendously to overcome that problem.
It will help you to be more confident as well for the next step.
Yes, it helps you with the confidence for the next step. So the curse of knowledge, the one way to overcome that is to self-validate, which is prerequisite for success. So if you don't have, if you don't, the only reason you don't teach is because you'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Why? I don't know what do you mean I can teach? I don't know any stuff. What happens when you, oops, what is this? Let's go. It's your improvements, your validation that matter. So that's why I keep asking you to validate yourself.
Sorry, what does the bottom bit say? Because you can't see it.
Can you see it now?
It's too low on my screen.
Oh, is it? Okay. So it is your improvements, your validation that matter. That's what I've written. So now there are two symptoms of curse of knowledge. The first symptom is imposter syndrome. What is an imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome, let me explain, because I'm just jumping the word, I'm throwing the word out of thin air. Let me explain. Who am I to teach this topic? I need to know more information. I need more certification. I am not ready yet. Need more experience. I need to read more books. Since you think you're not ready to teach, you look for inspiration from others. Okay? Since you have no courage, you seek motivation from others. Because the curse of knowledge is what? Is that, once you learn, you forget you've learned. Once you overcome a barrier, you forget you overcame the barrier. Yes? Are you with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
You need to say yes or no so that I can go back and fix where you
Yes.
missed.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then once you've done that, then you start to think, oh, I need to know more. Oh, I don't know. Because you're like, you're forgetting. The curse of knowledge is what? You're forgetting you learned. So you're always thinking you need to learn. I need to know more information. I need to know more. I'm not ready. I need more systems. I need better camera. I need more websites. I need more equipment. I need blah, 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 blah. Since you think you're not ready to teach, you look for inspiration in others. Since you have no courage to stand, you seek motivation from others. The problem with this is that you end up impersonating others and you forget yourself. When you seek motivation when you get inspired by one person, by your ideal person, your guru, the leader you believe in, whoever you admire, once that person impresses you, you impersonate that person. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
What
lose
happens when you impersonate?
individuality.
What happens when you impersonate that person?
You pretend to be something you're not.
Yes. And what happens because of that? You feel stronger, you feel powerful, you feel courageous and ready. Absolutely. Once you feel like, oh my God, I'm like Les Brown. Wow. Yeah, you'll start talking like him, or you'll start like Tony Robbins. You'll start jumping like Tony Robbins, start pumping, you listen to music, or Les Brown, or any speaker you believe in. You'll start doing all of that. And then you start to speak like that person. You will start to use words like that person. You impersonate that person in your own way, not like that person, but in your own style. And because of that, you feel stronger and powerful. Can you connect me with that? Have you felt that? Have you done that anytime?
Yeah. So you're actually saying that you just dive into your project and learn as you go along, because if you don't say yes to yourself, you'll never be ready. So get ready, say yes, and you're ready.
That is very powerful, Manjit. Absolutely right. Yes. Now, when you do stop yourself, here we are addressing why you stop yourself. And what you said is very, very powerful. You just say yes and you get on. That is so true. Yes. You just make yes statement and you finish. That's it, done. Now, when sometimes when you do slow down, when you do, you're like, oh, I don't know what to teach. Oh, and if you think you don't have that, look at the symptoms. I am not ready yet. You don't have experience. Then you'll go look for inspiration. You will go look for, I need to know more information. I need that. So what happens because of that is you start to copy, impersonate the other person. Once you impersonate the other person, you will no doubt feel powerful. You will no doubt feel courageous because you are behaving like that person. Okay. Now, what happens because of that? What is the drawback of this?
You're not being the real you. You're not being. I've forgotten the word.
Yes, that's true. Now, because
You're
of
fake.
you're
You become
fake.
fake.
Yes, you're fake. When it comes to taking action, you immediately compare yourself with the person you're impersonating, and you find yourself lack of equipment, products, clients, big offices, houses, cars, because of which you go back to where you started. And then you need to listen to the person more number of times, and then again impersonate and again feel courageous and come back. So that's why when you like someone doing a particular webinar or a website or a video, you'll be like, oh, I want to do a video like that person. Only then I'm ready. Oh, I want to have a home office like that person. Then I will do Facebook Live. Oh, I want to have a product like that. I want to have a product like this person. Only then I'm ready. You will start putting barriers yourself and stop yourself because
But
you're not.
all along the line, you will learn, you need to admire the snippets of that person and put them on board with your uh, project that you're doing and learn from them, no? Because you can't just say, no, I want to stay an individual. Yeah?
What is learning, Manjit?
It's taking information that...
Correct. You have to take in information. Learning, the 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 most powerful truth is you know everything you need to know to win this life. Everything is inside you. Everything you need to know is already inside you. Learning is the process of removing false data, not adding data. Yes, you need to learn Zoom, you need to learn Facebook ad. Those are not learning. Those are just training tools. But learning the mindset, remember 80% is the mindset. Learning is removing false data. So when you might get inspired, but what happens is you impersonate. You end up copying another person. When you copy, what you should copy is if you take somebody else's idea into yours and make it your own. Okay, I'll ask you, when you share a quote, have you seen people sharing other people's quotes
all
like
the time.
sayings and things? Have you
Yeah,
noticed?
yeah.
Why is that? Because they have not made it themselves. Okay, I share my own quotes. When I put a quote up, I put my name on it.
Chinmai,
Because yes, hey Louis.
yeah, I agree on what you're saying because, for example, no, the problem is most of us we don't want to move because we are afraid of
Louis,
what other
one advice. I know you can
yeah
handle it. I
yeah we
want
are
you.
afraid of
No,
what
Louis,
other peoples might tell us. So that's
Louis,
the false data that we have.
Louis. Don't
Yeah.
use we. Use I. You're speaking
Okay.
for one person.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, yes, I am afraid of doing something because other people might say something on the things that I'm going to show them. But that is a false data. But all you need to do is whatever you have, be true to yourself, and all you need to do just start and keep on improving little by little.
Yes, very powerful, Louis. Yes. So that is so true. Yes. So imposter syndrome happens when you feel you're not ready. So when imposter syndrome happens when you don't self-validate. then you'll be like, who am I to teach? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So anytime you feel you're not ready, take a blank sheet of paper and write 10 things good about yourself. Now we'll come back. There's an important drill at the end of this.
The imposter syndrome is when you're not validating yourself, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. That's in the brackets. Yeah, okay.
Good. Because you will end up, because you're not validating yourself, when you don't validate, you don't have courage. You don't create energy. You take energy from others. So when you take energy from others, you end up copying them. And that becomes a fake energy. It just stays as long as you're them. That energy will be with you as long as you copy them. If you stop copying them, energy goes away. So you will be like, you know what, I want to make a video just like that person. I want to dress just like that. I want to have a home office. I want to have this nice thing that person has. That person's YouTube video is so professional. I also want the same YouTube video. All of that you'll start thinking, because that energy which you have taken from others is a fake, because it's conditional. As long as you behave, as long as you impersonate that person, the energy is yours. But if you make that energy your own, the energy is yours. You can be whoever you want to be, and still the energy will be yours. The courage, because you create courage. You create energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So always be yourself. That's a very crude way of saying, but the science behind it is this. Now you know all these cliches, all this so nice to hear. Be yourself, don't be anybody else. All that is nice to hear, but if you don't have the science behind it, it's boring. Okay, good. So what happens next? What happened? Why is this not moving? Oh, okay. Maybe we'll take some more time. Let's go to the next slide. Oops. Slide. Okay, the second symptom of curse of knowledge is death by PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, the first symptom is imposter syndrome. Second is death by PowerPoint. That teaching from your viewpoint. Because once you learn something, let's say you learn how to make a cake. I'm going to use your example, Elizabeth. It's helpful for you. Once you learn how to bake a cake, when someone asks to come you to teach a cake, you'll be like, yeah, just use this flour, just do things like it's normal. Because for you, it's like breathing air. For someone who's never walked into a kitchen, for them it's like, what is it? For them it's like rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, hang on, can you do that in slow motion? Can you actually tell me when you measure 200 grams or 2 ml of any ingredient in a measuring jar, you just measure it and do it in so quickly. But a new person will be like slowly sifting. He'll make sure it's right to the level. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It is not just for Elizabeth, for everybody. When you teach something which is normal to you, the other person will feel like it's rocket science. They take steps so slowly, and you will be like, come on, what's happening? Why are you taking so slow? Because from your viewpoint, you know all of this. From their viewpoint, it's difficult. So when you are not aware of the curse of knowledge, when you're not aware of the improvement you've had, because what happens when you self-validate? You validate where you were and how far you came, right? What happens? Let's take a look. So when you validate, you're here. When you you are here. You actually go from here to here, correct?
Yeah.
So you validate this growth, yes? But when this growth is missing, when this is missing, what happens is you're just stuck here. So when the other student comes who is over here, when the new student comes over here and you're over here, and you're like, hey, see me, I'm here, you should come and do this. this person is like, what do you want me to do? How? And this person, that is called as death by PowerPoint. I'll teach you. I'll just show you. I'll give you examples so that you'll understand. Because you think the knowledge you know is so normal, you teach at an incorrect gradient, leading to confusion and misunderstood concepts and words. You know, when I was teaching, I had to explain you, so I have to break it down, to break down concepts more simpler, correct?
Yeah.
If I had done something quickly, would you have understood it? So I
No.
took the responsibility on myself to teach you everything in the right gradient. Yes.
Yeah.
Now what happens when you teach at an incorrect gradient? Oops.
You have better results.
No, when you start
Incorrect, sorry, incorrect, sorry.
Yes, incorrect.
If you have incorrect, then your likelihood of reaching your goal, whatever it may be, is less likely.
Less likely, yes. Now here you're going to sell your advice online. So you're giving advice to your clients. So when you give advice at a wrong gradient, what happens to your clients?
They get fed up, bored, and leave. I don't
Yeah,
know.
correct.
They don't achieve their target.
They don't achieve their target. Yes, absolutely. They don't achieve their target.
They will not listen to you.
They will not listen to you. Clients will stop taking action. Your clients yawn and fall asleep. Your clients lose interest and go after the next shiny object.
Yeah.
Your clients will blame you for their lack of results. It's as simple as that. How to overcome the curse of knowledge?
But isn't it, from a teaching perspective, Chinmay,
Mm-hmm.
when we used to teach, and also if you're teaching children as well, it's not just, it is your responsibility to teach them, obviously, and show them, but there has to be a level of commitment from the learner and their responsibility to do the work, because you can't always do the children's homework for them. They
I
have to do
know.
it themselves.
I know. If you go back to the slide, and this, when the moment you said they have to have some level of commitment from their side, are you putting, is it unconditional or conditional?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
When you said there has to be some level of commitment from the students, they have to put in some amount of effort from their side, when you said that, is it unconditional or conditional?
Oh, that's a difficult one, because are you talking about you as the tutor or them as the learner?
Doesn't matter. Like for you said, if someone has to learn from you, they have to be committed and dedicated to you.
Yes.
Sorry, they have to be dedicated to themselves.
Mhm.
Right? You said
Yeah.
that, didn't you? So when you
Yeah.
said that, so does that mean you're putting a condition or you're teaching them unconditionally?
Well, I'd hope that I would be teaching them unconditionally, so that they will have the understanding that you're giving as good as you know at
Correct.
the time.
Yes, you want to teach them unconditionally. Yes. But what if they're not motivated? You already said that they have to be motivated to learn from you. They have to be committed to learn from you. That means you're putting a condition on that.
Yes.
So what happens when they are not motivated? There will be force from them side. There'll be force from you. There'll be force from them. Oh, you should do this. Why are you not listening to me? Why are you? This is so important. Why are you being so irresponsible? How many times should I repeat you? You should do your homework beforehand. How many times have I told you not to do that? Blah 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 blah. Force and counter force. There's a problem.
You have to try different methods to
You have to
maybe
try
share
different
the
methods.
message, try and understand the person.
Yes.
What the problem? What's the reason? The reasoning
Very smart.
behind. Yeah.
Very smart.
What's
Yes.
going on? There could be something going on in the background that you're not aware of.
Very smart. Yes. So you have to understand their viewpoint.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's why it's critical that you understand. So when you don't understand your client's viewpoint and you teach from your own viewpoint, because you see, when your viewpoint, your clients came to you That's the only reason your clients come to you for advice is this. You are here, okay? And your clients are here. Can you see this brown dots?
Yeah.
On the screen? Okay. And at some point, you were also here at the same level of your clients. Are you with me? Can you see these 3 dots? Can everyone see these 3 dots?
Yeah.
Oh, where's the
Yeah.
chat? Where's the chat? Chat. In case you were typing in the chat, I can't see the chat. Where is it? Okay, yes. Okay. No, I'm not. Can you see the 3 dots? Okay, good. Now, see, you were here and your clients, both of you were. Okay. So what happens is you took action and you, let's go away from the text. So it's easy. Okay. So you were here, you took action and you jumped to this level. Okay. Your clients are here. The clients see you and you're like, wow, how did you do that? Teach me. So you're like, I can teach you. Because if you have the curse of knowledge, you'll be like, oh, it's nothing. I learned it from somebody else. Do you understand? When you have the curse of knowledge, you don't validate yourself. You put all the you put it on somebody else. Oh, I learned from this guy. He taught me how to do it. Okay. Now
But naturally you'll do that anyway, won't you? You'll like surely some of the stuff that we're learning from you, we would use a bit of that, some of it, because it's useful for you to share the process or the learning.
Good. Correct. So Saroj, when you use what I'm teaching, when you have actually applied in your own life, you don't have to say I learned it from Chinmai, because it's yours.
Okay.
You will only refer me when you don't have faith in that knowledge.
What
You
about
learn how to brush your teeth from your parents. So every time you brush your teeth, you're going to say, oh, my parents taught me how to brush my teeth. You don't say that, right?
It's important to have edification or validation.
Validation, you only validate you. You can say, oh, I'm so grateful for my parents to teach me for brushing my teeth. But it's your knowledge. Everything I'm teaching you is your knowledge. Only when you take action. Because once you take action, you're taking ownership of the knowledge, you're implementing it, and you're getting results. And only when you accept the results unconditionally, the knowledge becomes yours. It's yours forever. And once it becomes yours, you can teach it to whoever you want to. You can be grateful for me. I won't say no. You can always validate me. But you have to validate yourself first. It's like if you don't validate yourself, you can't validate me.
Can I just mention something there? Before I had this, well, I was doing it. It's called iVolve. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but iVolve is about making sure I evolve, then I can help you evolve, and we evolve together. So that was something that I did a brand on. So quite interesting.
Okay, good. Now, if you want to teach what I'm teaching, Saroj, or anyone, you can all teach it. You can share it. Unless you make it yours, you will keep referring to Chinmai said this.
Okay.
But if the moment you take ownership of it, the moment you take it yours and you apply it to every concept of your life, you teach it, you do it, it becomes part of your living beingness. Like gradient is now part of my beingness. I learned it from my spiritual coach 2 years ago. It's part of my beingness now. I don't say every time I teach, every time I apply, and say, oh, from Mutt coach, this is this. I don't do that because it's mine. I'm grateful for my coach, but this information is mine now. And the same thing is information is yours when you make it yours. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So you have to teach at the right gradient. So that means you can only teach. So let's say you're here. So you go here And this person will be, your client will be like, whoa, how did you do that? I'm looking at the points now. So look at the points on the screen. Oh, wow, how did you do that? So you can say, if you have the curse of knowledge, you will say, oh, somebody else taught me, go there. Oh, this guy taught me. Well, oh, this guy taught me, go there. Let me use a different color. This is, yeah. Oh, this guy taught me. This guru over here, this speaker over here taught me how to lose my weight or get sell stuff online. Oh, okay, I'll go here. But only one person can't solve all the life's problems. Okay, so what you when you self-validate, what you will do is you will be grateful for this person who you learned, but you will take ownership. If this is what you really want to teach, then you will come down to this person's level, this person's viewpoint, and teach him. When you teach him or her, this person will learn from you, and both of you will grow. So this person will reach here, and you will go, and you will go. So it's you like you just have to be one step ahead of the other person, of your client. You don't have to be the final, you don't have to be the finished product. You just have to be one step ahead. You don't have to be up here. You just have to be one step ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You don't have to be the best baker. You don't have to be the best online course. You don't have to have the best of best. You just have to be one step ahead. Okay. So what happens when your clients blame? So the more you teach, the more you learn.
It's true.
Yes. The more you teach, the more you learn. Yes. Good. The more you share, the more you get, is because the moment you teach, the moment you share, it becomes certain for you. The more, if you keep teaching as somebody else is teaching, it's not certain for you. Because if they contradict, if they counter question, if any of your friends or family counter questions you on the concept of gradient or validation or anything you've learned, spiritual concepts you've learned over the last 3 months, if it's not yours, you will not be able to handle their questions. So you'll be like, oh, I don't know, this guy, crazy guy taught me. You understand how that comes? When you can't handle when it's not yours, you can't handle questions. You can't teach. And when you teach, you can handle questions, and that becomes yours. It becomes certain. So the more you share, the more certain you become. The more certain you become, the more you get. Is that clear? Is that thing? You're always silent when I talk. I don't know whether...
That answers something for me. That's why I'm smiling, laughing.
Very good. I'm glad you found your answer. Glad it answered some. Great. Okay. So there are... Okay, all of you. Okay, so let's go to the next and see
So
where we are.
Chinmay, by sharing, you're also getting more confident with your own content, and knowing that people are approving of it, then at least it becomes certain that you're on the right gradient. Yeah.
Manjit, you said all the right words. You should do it in the reverse order. You should be certain first, and
certain first.
you should be certain. Like,
yeah,
you should be certain that what you're teaching works.
Mm-hmm.
If you make conditional that if your clients agree to what you're teaching, then I'm going to be certain what I'm teaching is good, then it's going to be you will always lose confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You should know what you're teaching is good enough. You should just know it. You should have zero doubt. Because when any of your clients come and question it or contradict it, you should be like, nah, this is good. If you don't agree, don't agree. Move ahead. You will be so certain that don't worry, because that's what certainty is. That's what leaders are. You are a leader when you are certain for what you speak. So that out of 100, if 90 people say what you say is wrong and 10 people say what you say is right, and you're willing to carry on doing what you're doing for those 10 people, you're a leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you add certainty to the lives. You don't expect your students to add certainty to you. That's not, you said everything right, Manjit. You just have to reverse it. Okay, so how to overcome the curse of knowledge? Let's do that today. So validate your improvement. You know you're doing it, and validate your client's improvement. So have you noticed every time in the every time you share your wins, every time you share your answers, I validate your answers, I validate your improvements.
Yes.
I always acknowledge your responses. I always validate your improvements. Have I not? I don't say, oh, that's wrong. No, 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 that's so wrong. Listen to me. Have I ever said that? Have I ever invalidated you by saying what you said is wrong?
No.
Well, I have always validated your improvement, because whatever you do is right from your end. From your point of view, it is right. And you are only when I validate you, you will be willing to accept my viewpoint. Yes? If I make you wrong, why will you accept my viewpoint? Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're all speaking to yours. I can hear whispers, so you're either talking to your mind and you're being too loud, or you're talking to me, or you're being too quiet, being too low.
So sorry. So what you're saying is, if you validate the person that you're teaching, then they're more likely to, and they confirm.
They're more likely
And
to listen to you.
okay.
Because
Well, okay.
only when you validate your clients, your prospect, your students, your whoever it is, then they feel safe.
Mhm.
Then they open up, and then they will be willing to validate you. That means they'll be willing to accept your viewpoint.
So it's like getting the yeses.
Okay, getting the yeses. So selling and teaching is the same thing. There is technically there is nothing different.
It's quite interesting, because you're reminding me of the teaching formats that we've had, but in a different light.
Good. I'm glad I'm reminding. I want you to use this, validate your improvement and validate your client's improvement. Now let's validate your improvement. So let's do this drill. Now this is a drill, discovering your hidden gems. So how to overcome the curse of knowledge. We have done this before, but I want you to do it again, now with a new fresh viewpoint. Okay, so barrier, challenge, or problem. Have you faced any of this in the past?
Yes.
Yes?
All three.
All three, good. Now, what did you do to overcome them? You know the answer? You know you did something to overcome them, right?
Mm.
I want you to, and you created, either you changed your habits, or you created a product, or you bought a product, or you read a book, or you attended an event, any of that. So I want you to take a sheet of paper and write down, list all the barriers and problems you overcame. Because the curse of knowledge is you have overcome it and you've just forgotten you overcame it. You're like, yeah, it was tough, I did it anyways. I don't want that. I want you to overcome it, and I want you to go back and acknowledge all the new skills and abilities you developed by overcoming it. Just list all the barriers. We'll just take one barrier, one problem, or one challenge from any one, and then we'll list, and then I want you to do the same for all the others. On the call, we'll do one, and as a homework, you do for the rest. Is that clear? So describe how you overcame them. This will be like the step. So there are 5, you can add 10, 20, but on the call right now, we'll only do one. We'll do only one solution. Okay? Is that clear? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, take a piece of paper and pen. You don't have to share if you don't want to share. If it's confidential, keep it yours. Keep it, but I want you to be open. Write anything, write any problem, challenge, barrier you have faced, and I want you to list them all. When only list them, don't write the solution, only list. Once you're ready, say ready, so that I can tell you to do it. So if all of you have, when you have taken a piece of paper and pen, Say ready. Type in ready or say ready.
Only
Unmute and
put the barrier, but not solution, yeah?
just the barrier for now. That's right, Manjit. Thank you. For now, just the barrier or the challenge or the problem. Okay, Louis is ready. Just say ready. When you are ready, then I will say go, then you can write.
Yeah.
You know all the problems you have faced. Okay, ready? I'm going to put a stopwatch. Are you ready? So your paper and pen ready? Okay, good. So ready, go. List only the barriers and problems you have. I didn't get yes ready from a lot of people, so I'm assuming you're ready. That's not good. Raghu, Annette, Elizabeth, Diwaliben, I didn't get ready from any of you. So either you've gone to make tea, or you're talking on the phone, or you're watching TV, or I have no idea what you're doing. I'm not getting any updates on chat. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're there, Manjit, but I don't know where others
Sorry,
are.
I need to go to.
Okay, all of you. So type in, so do your barriers and challenges. So ready? Start listing your challenges. You have 5 minutes. I put a stopwatch for 5 minutes.
The salt.
Okay. Okay, let's go. So have you listed your problems?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm having even though it's a group mentoring, I feel like I'm doing one-to-one
wor-
coaching with Manjit and Saroj. Okay. Okay, are you done? Are you ready? Are you done with the first barrier challenges? This is important because the next, without this, it's challenge. The next 7 days, 8 days will be challenging. Have you done this?
You just want one.
No, list how many ever you want, but we'll only do the solution for one on the call, and the remaining you can do after. on your own?
I've done one.
Done one? Okay, good. So you've done one, you've done both problem and solution?
Um, I can do the solution now.
Wait, hang on. Solution, I have not asked because I'm waiting for everyone to do the solution.
Oh,
We were
sorry.
together. So Elizabeth, you're not saying, I don't know where everyone is. Okay, I'm assuming everyone is here. They're not able to communicate, but okay. Okay, so let's do the solution. So tell me how you overcame your barrier, problem, or challenge. How did you overcome that? List it. You don't have to share it with me if you don't want to, but I want you to write it down. What steps did you do to overcome that? Okay, are you done? Okay, that's very good, Diwali Ben. Choose any one of them and write the solution. Raising finance to expand. What did you do to overcome that? Not choose any one of them, and then do the rest. But after the call, on the call, we'll only do one. Okay. So if you have done both, if you have done one, type in yes. You have done, like say done. Type in done or say done. Okay, Elizabeth on the call. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. For friends, I saved a bit by bit, which took too long. So it took long to achieve goals. Okay, good. So you did. So you had persistence. You had a plan. You had discipline. You had saving. You learned how to save. Great. That's brilliant. So you developed your own technique for saving. Now that is your improvement. That is your knowledge. Does that make sense, the Oliver? Now you can teach anybody else how to save. Okay. Now that, so you can teach anyone who comes to you and say, oh, I don't know how to do this. Then you're like, it's okay. It's so easy to save. Just do this, do that, do that. Every week, few things here, few pounds here and few pounds there. You save and you reduce. In a couple of months, you save a lot. And you know how to teach how to save. That's the power of you going back and removing the curse of knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's it. So are you done? I know only you're, are you done with the both tasks, problem and solution? Are you done with both? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So Saroj is done. Louis is done. Manjit is done. Okay, good. Okay. Annette, are you done? Are you with us? Are you able to do the exercise? Or are you on a call? Are you on phone? You're not able to do? I don't know. I'm assuming you are.
I'm not able to do it.
You're not able to do it. Okay, thanks, Annette. But I hope you do it later on in the day. It's very important.
Okay.
Okay, good. So that's it. That's the day 2. Now that's how you have lifted the curse of knowledge of one improvement. I want you to continue doing the exercise and lift all the curses of your own knowledge. It's your own curse. Do you see how powerful is this exercise? One simple thing you learned. Did you tell me, was this powerful? Before, just instead of me telling it's powerful, did you find it powerful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why was it powerful?
It's the way you explained it, Chinmay, the force and understanding the different conditional and unconditional. And you made me reflect on teaching methods that I've used before and apply it to this and how I could implement that in my own teaching process now and showing
Wow.
others, sharing it.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Anybody else? Well, you did this exercise. You did the exercise of problem and solution. Why did you find it useful for power? Did you find it powerful? If you find it powerful, I want you to share why you found it powerful. Saroj shared her. Now, Elizabeth, you're busy. Manjit, Louis, why was it powerful to you, Louis?
It's you teach us how to confront the problems and not to get away from it. And then because in our life, if you keep on hiding, keep on not confronting it, in one point you're going to encounter, and in order for you not to waste your time, all you need to do is to confront it and learn from it. I think that's super powerful for me.
Okay, wow. That's powerful. Okay, good. So, anybody else want to share? Manjit, you want to share anything?
Yeah, my biggest barrier was, which I kept delaying for years, was writing my book. And here I thought, oh, it's a challenge, but the biggest thing is people are not going to appreciate a physical copy, and it's a digital world. And then when I actually took and read a few books, I thought, oh my God, I need to sit down and write my story. And I broke that down into chapters and wrote my blueprint. And before I knew that, I actually, something I had left for years, I wrote it in a month with the structured plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the barrier. So you know
And
how we did it. So you had a structure, you have self-confidence, you took your own exercise, you had your own blueprint. Those are now you can teach anybody else how to overcome their own fear, or overcome their own
yeah.
self-confidence.
And I made a point of writing a page every day, whether it was at 4 o'clock or 6 a.m. or 10 p.m.
Wow, that
That,
is
that was
incredible.
the only way I could achieve this. Otherwise, it was, I'll do it. Okay, I'll leave it today. Oh, I'm too tired. I've got to make dinner. And it was always delaying tactics. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, amazing. Diwali, you shared amazing strategies. Louis, you are amazing. Saroj, you're amazing. Every one of you have grown a little bit today. So it's good. So now you know the drill. Homework is to complete the remaining barriers. I want you to keep digging anything what you have learned, and keep removing the curse. The more you write the problem, you'll remove the curse. Okay, it's very powerful. Else the curse will hold you back. So undo the curse by continue writing, continue identifying barriers and challenges, and start creating your solution. I need that list for tomorrow. Okay, will you have it ready for tomorrow? Will you do it? Are you going to commit? If you say yes, if you're going to commit, say yes. Type in yes, or actually type in yes. You will commit. Type yes, you will commit. Okay, Louis, you commit. Okay, one yes so far. Saroj, yes, good. Okay, Manjit, yes, good. Anybody else? Elizabeth, I know you're on the call. Can you type in yes, if you can, that you will do this? Okay, you're yes. I'll call you and I'll make sure you do it. Okay, so next homework is you need to do your wins. What is a win? Why is it important for you to do a win? Share your win. Why is it important?
You're validating your achievement and what you've learned.
Yes, your improvement.
Yeah.
Yes, good. So I want you to share your improvement. Will you share your win in the group today? Will you share what you learned? Not what you learned, what you improved.
Yeah. No, I won't be able to do it today because I have to just get out for a meeting, but I'll definitely do it tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. But if you're saying yes, it's yes is for you, Manjit. Will you do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Good, fantastic. Loy, Yana, you'll do it. Saraj, will you do it?
Yeah.
Good. Elizabeth, I know you will do it. Annette, I hope you do it. I know you will do it as well. Diwaliben, please share. I want to share your wins. Keep growing. That's how you remove the curse of knowledge, curse and self-validate. And the key thing is you have to, when you write your win, don't say what I taught you, because others you didn't grow, you didn't improve because of what I taught you. You improved because of what you learned from it. There's a difference. Whatever I taught you helped you see something beautiful in your life, helped you get more courage, helped you get clarity, helped you get something. Am I right?
Yeah.
So write that, not what I thought. Don't say Chinmay taught me what is force counter force. Force counter force is my words. What did it mean to you? That's your improvement. I hope it makes sense, because
Yep.
that's what you really need to look inside and say, what is new in my life now? Oh, I'm able to confront any situation now. Wow, I know how to handle any conflicts with relationships or conflicts with things. I know how to teach anything. You can use, that's how you learn and improve. Am I making it clear? Like, you see, I stress, if you take a pie chart, if you take a stats of how much time I focus on teaching you the win, you would notice win is pretty much, I share close to 10-15% of the day's session on the wins. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Close to 20% maybe.
Not a problem. It's a learning process.
Have you noticed that I focus more on the wins? It's because it's important.
Challenge is not a problem. It's a learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Focus on what it means to you, not what I thought. Okay. Are you going to see, will I see you tomorrow?
Oh, sure.
Okay, good. Can you do one favor for me? Invite your friends, because this is a time when everyone's at home, they are doing nothing. So just invite your friends to this 10-day Launchpad. It is such a powerful thing to do. You don't have to do it if you don't, but just promote it. Just ask your friends to come join, because there's so much they can learn. Okay. I know you may not do it. I'll leave it to you, but I want you to share your wins. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Chinmay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Suraj. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bluey. Bye,
Bye,
Diwali. Bye,
everyone.
Annette. Bye.
Everyone.
Bye, Elizabeth. Bye.